In this video, we're going to show you how to set up and use Zotero. To begin, we need to install the product. From their website, zotero.org, we see that there's a big red download button. When you click on that, it will actually open a new page that will allow you to download the Mac version or the PC version. You'll see on the left here, that's exactly what we're going to do. I would hit that, it would download, and then I would install it just like you do any other product. While we're on this page though, you want to make sure that you install the connector, and that will be very helpful later as well. So download the regular product and then install the connector with whichever web browser you use. You'll see here it's got the Google Chrome ID. You can also open up and download things for Safari or Edge or whatever, but make sure you get the connector. This will save you a lot of time. Now, once you have installed the product, you can open up Zotero and it will open up. Yours will be blank, but you need to open it up. And I would strongly recommend you go ahead and set up your own account. This is going to give you an option, and let's see, I think it's under settings for me, but you want to make sure that you set it up and synchronize it with your own personal account. That way, if you ever lose your computer, it dies, you have all that information backed up. You don't want to lose that. The second thing that's going to happen is once you've installed the product and the connector, you actually want to go and open up Microsoft Word. Now, if Word was open when you try to install it, make sure you close it and reopen it. When you do, you're going to see at the top in the ribbon, Home, Insert, Draw, etc., and somewhere over to the right, you're going to see the option for Zotero. So when you click on that, you'll see that there's some new options there, and these are some things that you need to tweak as you go. The first thing you'll do is you'll see Document Preferences. This is how you actually decide whether or not you're going to use Turabian or APA or MLA or SBL. And you'll see here that I have Turabian 9th edition, notes and bibliography. That's the format that we use. That's what you'll want to do as well. And then display settings using footnotes. That's the format that we use. And then get it to automatically update your citations. Those will probably be preset. But make sure that you pick Turabian 9th edition. If you can't find it, go to Manage Styles and you'll be able to go and download it from their website. Now, once you get into your writing, then you have to go find the sources that you want to do. Now, you can insert sources a few different ways. The most basic way is to manually enter in the information. From the actual page, you see at the top, you've got the option to add, and you can add whatever. What you pick here is going to tell the system how to format it. So be careful. If you're doing a book, pick book. If you're doing a section of a book, like a chapter that's written by one person while the book is edited by somebody else, you want to pick that. Or a journal article, or maybe a newspaper article or a podcast. Pick the right option, and then you can actually enter the information, my book, enter in the title. Let's just say it's written by me. And you want to make sure that all this is typed correctly. If there's a series, you can include that. Now, I better call this something different. If you enter something in there, it's going to show up. And then let's give it a date. We'll call this 2026, published by God Press, making up names here, Heaven. So whenever we use that, it's going to put that information in the right place. Now, that's the manual way. That's the hardest way. The easiest way is to actually use the connector tool. So this connector uses information already on certain websites. So for example, if you go to Amazon.com, and I just finished reading this, or actually did the Audible version of Lionel Richie's book, Truly, his biography, fun book, by the way, you can actually go here, and on the Amazon page is all the information, the publisher. If you scroll down, it'll actually give you all the information. Well, what the connector does is it adds a little icon up here, and you'll see it right here, this little book. And if I hit that icon, it's going to say, hey, do you want to put this in your collection? And then notice it just inserted all the information. So if I go here and look for my Lionel Richie, it just downloaded all that information. And I could go right here and check. Oh, it's missing the date. So I would need to go check the date and enter it. It's missing the place. I would need to check that and enter it. See how quick that was? You can also, if you're using EBSCO and you're in our database and you're looking at a particular journal article, you go to that page. Now, not this one. You'll see that my little Z is not up there. But if I actually look at this article, just like it would be in the actual page of a journal, gives me all that same information. Again, I can do it manually. But if I go up here, it actually has downloaded that information. Let's see, I might actually need to go into the page. Nope, this is it. And then it's going to add that information. Preaching helps. And there it went. And if I go up here and look, let's see if it did it correctly. And there it is. Now, this is a journal article. It brought in the journal title. It brought in the authors of this article, the publication, the volume, the issue, the date, and the page range. All of this is important information for when doing a journal article. And then even if you're doing a blog, I went out to the Gospel Coalition's page, found an article that was put out today about the new movie. If somehow I wanted to cite this, guess what? Zotero plugin will actually cite this as well. It gives a little bit different looking icon, but I actually can click that. It's going to download that into my thing. I can go up here and look for hoppers, and there's that. Again, it's going to give me the URL, the blog title, who wrote it, all the information I need. Now, the beauty of this is all that information is being gathered. And then when you actually go into your particular Microsoft page, all you have to do, instead of using the footnotes option, go to your Zotero option and you'll see add citation. So let's add a couple very quickly and then we'll. So it's going to ask me which styles, first time I've used it. Whoop, hang on. They just updated it, so I think it did something. There it goes. The page flipped over. So I'm just going to cite Hopper's page. In this case, I don't need to do anything else. It's not a page number. So I'm just going to hit enter. And notice that it dropped that article in, the title, the blog page, where it came from, and even the URL. Now, let's do the other ones. Again, add citation. At the end of that sentence, let's do the Truly book by Lionel Richie. This time, I want to actually cite a page number. So once I get it in, if I click on it again, it's going to say, hey, what page? And I'm going to say, oh, this was a quote from page 59. Then hit enter and hit enter again. And now it's actually put all the information there. Notice that it dropped off the city and the date because that wasn't in the original thing. We'll fix that and included the page number. So watch this. Let's go back to Zotero. Let's go back and find Truly. And let's actually go in and let's give it, let's say 2025, and let's say Grand Rapids. And this time, I already have some in there, so I'm going to pick the one with the correct abbreviation. You have to actually put this information in correct, and I'm going to click off of it. And here's the true beauty. If I come here and hit my refresh button, it's going to take just a second. Notice that it dropped Grand Rapids in, gave me the year, and now it's correct. So let's do a couple others. If we go here and we do that same Truly book, but we say, well, this time, let's say it's on page 100. Now it's going to do the same thing. Whoop, hit enter again. Now it gave me the shortened version, which is the correct way. It gives me the last name, shortened version of the title, page number. And then finally, let's do that other, the Preaching Helps one. There it is. Let's say I quote something from page 82. Hit enter. Whoop. There we go. Gives me all that information. Puts the article in quotation marks, which is correct. Puts the title of the journal in italics, which is correct. Gives me all the information that I need. Now, wasn't that incredible? Now check this out. If I go right here where my bibliography would be and say add to my bibliography, watch what happens. It puts all of them there. They're in alphabetical order. They have the hanging indent. If not, I would format that using my tools. But notice that all the information is there. It drops off the parentheses. It inverts the name. Everything is done correctly. And now that my bibliography is there, if I add any other sources here, let's add one last one. Oh, if I add one more source here, let's pick my major professor in seminary. Hit enter again. Notice that it added the footnote, and then it added him to the document. Now, the following video will show you a few things to check to make sure that you're doing it correctly, but that's amazing. Your footnotes, your bibliography, picture perfect. It's built on a database, so the data in the Zotero has to be correct. You have to make sure this is right. But once it's right, anytime you use it thereafter, even if you go back and update it and open that paper later, will always be correct. Good luck and enjoy Zotero.